So the state of local government remains poor. According to the latest AG report, the Auditor General Tsakane Maluleke reported that there has been little change or improvement in the 2022-2023 municipality audit. Maluleke said her office identified three main weaknesses that hold back local government progress, one of them being a culture of no accountability and consequences. Let's unpack the rest of the AG's report and findings further with the COGTA Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa. Minister, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us. 1 out of 8 metros receiving a clean audit and only 34 out of our 257 municipalities receiving a clean audit. That means 13% of our municipalities. How do you respond to that as Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs?
Thank you very much, and good morning, Aldrin, as well as all the viewers of Newzroom Afrika. Indeed, the audit outcomes released by the Auditor General yesterday do not give any joy in looking at the state of our municipalities. This has been persistent, as the public knows that every time when the issues, the outcomes, there is no good picture. But what we must know, Aldrin, there was an increase in a disclaimer is concerned, dropping from 22 to 12 municipalities. It is indeed not impressing that only one metro got clean audit. COGTA, together with the government at a national level, as you know, Aldrin, the president placed the local government to the focus point. The government has made a decision that we must concentrate on the local government sphere because that is where development, where economy grows. Last week, a new interministerial committee was formed, led by COGTA, where in 21 days, we must come up with a turnaround plan. One, focus on dysfunctional municipalities. We have identified them, and we took a step further to identify 10 worst-performing municipalities in South Africa. These 10 worst-performing municipalities come from 3 provinces: Free State, Eastern Cape, and Northern Cape. Our turnaround plan must introduce a culture of good governance. We must support them at the beginning, but we must institute accountability if people do not want to cope. Our turnaround plan will be divided into 3 categories: short-term goals for 3 months, medium-term goals for 6 months, and long-term goals for 12 months. By the end of 12 months, we must see a greater change. We will firstly persuade, but we will put pressure if people do not want to cooperate, because it cannot go as usual every year. Because if you behave usually but expect different results, you won't get it.
Yeah, you're speaking about the Free State also being named as one of the, well, having municipalities that are amongst the poor performing municipalities. If you look at the infrastructure underspending in terms of the infrastructure grant, the municipality, one of the municipalities that has the highest underspending is the Mangaung Metro. Well, it actually has the highest at 58%. How do we deal with this? Because it seems that there is a correlation between the underspending of infrastructure grant and also the audit outcomes.
Definitely, there is a relationship between dysfunctionality, poor audit outcome, and poor service delivery. What we will do, COGTA has established a wing with a pool of qualified people, former MMs, engineers, people with various skills, CFO. One of the factors that made municipalities unable to spend MIG for infrastructure is not to have qualified people in terms of engineering, in terms of reporting on projects, And even at a managerial level, the other thing that we will do, all the dysfunctional municipalities, we will zoom in to find out who is there, who is the MM, what are his qualifications, who is the CFO, is he suitably qualified to be at a metro level, who is the director for the infrastructure, does he have the proper engineering qualifications? We will zoom in there, also zoom in on the political leadership. Who is the mayor? What is his competence in terms of understanding what he is dealing with? The speaker, or the resolution they take, what is his competence? And lastly, there is a wing called MISA, wherein if a municipality is unable to spend the MIC grant for infrastructure, we jump in. MIC is properly supplied with people with enough knowledge in terms of capital expenditure. We will jump into these municipalities under Schedule 6B, where we spend money on their behalf, not allow money taken away from the municipality, because the failure to spend money does not affect the officials, but the community, as you indicate in the case of Mangaung.
So when you speak about the qualifications of the mayor, and the mayor, of course, being a political deployee, what are you speaking about there? Should there be a criteria that the mayor would need to meet in terms of qualifications? Because as it stands currently, to become a member of council, and the mayor is elected from council, you don't need any such qualification.
Aldrin, in the age in which we are living, if you will have a mayor who does not have competencies academically and otherwise, how much will you expect for that mayor to comprehend and turn things around? Once we have done this analysis in 21 days in the 10 West performing municipalities, we will also convey this information to the political leadership, the political organizations leading those municipalities, that look, here, if you want to see a turnaround plan effectively implemented, you must address the question of the political leadership. The competency is below what can comprehend this plan and what can lead a change in the municipality, as the municipality is dysfunctional.
Yeah, the issue around competency is one of the problems that has been highlighted by the Auditor General in terms of the staff in municipalities. And we've seen that there has been an over-reliance on consultants. Again, it seems that there is a link between an over-reliance on consultants and audit outcomes, poor audit outcomes. The Western Cape, as an example, they spend the lowest amount at around 41.78 million rand on consultants. KwaZulu-Natal spends 240 million rand on consultants. Limpopo, 279 million rand. That's a lot of money that are going to consultants, whereas the municipality should actually have the capacity to ensure that it is able to deliver services, but also make sure that its books are in order.
Indeed, Aldrin, it is better in municipalities where they use consultants and they get clean audit. It is worse for a municipality to hire a consultant and get a disclaimer. One thing that we will do in all municipalities using consultants, we will seek a legal process to insert a clause that if you have hired consultants, you must pay for services delivered. If they give you a disclaimer, you can't pay for a disclaimer. You hired them for good financial reporting, they must produce the same, because